Hi, welcome to Hyperion Hype Club. My name is McKenna and I love the Kingdom Keepers books by Ridley Pearson. Join me as we discuss this series and others published by Disney-Hyperion Books. Let's get into it.
Hi, you guys. Welcome back or welcome to Hyperion Hype Club. My name's McKenna. If you've never met me before, I usually do deep dives on certain books. So far, we've done 3 of the Kingdom Keepers books, and we are currently on the first Peter and the Starcatchers book. But occasionally, I will do the shorter reviews, and I'll also have short form versions of those, so like less than a minute or a minute max, whatever. But yeah, this week I am reviewing So This Is Love, A Twisted Tale by Elizabeth Lim. There are quite a few of these twisted tales out there, and Elizabeth Lim is not the only author of them. And these are published by Disney-Hyperion Books, at least in the US. And I've never read a Twisted Tale book before this one, and since this one was available on Kindle Unlimited, not sponsored, and my little sister has like a trial of that this month, I figured I'll read this one. I almost read Reflection instead, and if you would still like me to do Reflection, which is a twist on Mulan's story, I would be happy to do so. Just let me know in the comments of Spotify or YouTube. All right, now getting to my actual review part. So, some things we see in this book: friendship, love, classism, human trafficking, attempted murder. All right, well, some things was with my hair today. Oh my god, that it's just sticking up out of nowhere. Whatever. Oh my god, I just washed it yesterday. What is it doing? Whatever. Okay. So things I enjoyed in this book, there are lots of things to talk about here. I like how the book starts with Cinderella's arrival at the ball, so readers don't have to read the plot for the first half of the movie. We just jump right in at the point where Cinderella and Charles, or Prince Charming, meet and their romance begins. I enjoyed reading their conversation and Cinderella's thoughts from that ball. As someone who's not a fan of love at first sight, I thought this greatly benefited the story. I also like having a clear idea of what most of the main and secondary characters look like. Another thing I really liked is that there's more Bruno, Cinderella's dog. I mean, who doesn't love a good, loyal dog? I also like the poking fun at how insensible glass slippers are and how unreasonable it sounds for someone, i.e., the prince, to go to such great lengths to find the girl he had just met. I liked getting to know the prince and the town better. I enjoyed the slight nod to the story Sleeping Beauty, specifically Maleficent cursing Aurora, which contributed to a major conflict in this book regarding magic. I also like that there's a restriction on magic in general that doesn't involve political laws, where magic can't change any kind of ultimate outcome, like Cinderella and Prince Charles getting married or someone dying or something like that. Something that also I just really enjoyed about this book was that it might leave you like screaming at the book or at least screaming in your head. Not in the way where it's like, you idiot, it's so obvious, but in a way that's like, when will this thing reveal itself? It's affecting the plot so much, and its reveal could change everything. What the heck? We're almost at the end. What is going on? Like, so it's like a good, like, emotional, well, not emotional, but it's a good, like, build up of just like anticipation and oh my gosh. Thanks to the numerous twists in the plot, there are so many issues left to resolve in the last 10% of the book that I struggled to put the book down before anything was resolved. I also can't remember the last time I wanted to flip off a character so much. That includes like Jack Barlow from Fourth Wing. Another thing I'd like to note about this book is that there are alternating viewpoints, kind of. Like the book's not in first person, but the narrator focuses on one character in each chapter and allows you to read what's going on in their head. And of course, most of these chapters are from Cinderella's perspective. And then lastly, for stuff I enjoyed. This is such a small thing, but at one point, after going around having a bunch of women try on the glass slipper, Grand Duke Ferdinand sees feet as the stuff of nightmares, and I couldn't relate more. I think that feet are gross, and I don't want to touch them or have them touch me. Just like, ugh, no thank you. So, just one of quite a few relatable moments in this book. All right, so now that we've touched on that stuff, there are 3 things I can think of that could use some improvement, in my opinion. Sometimes Elizabeth Lim spent a lot of time in the focus character's head while they're in the middle of a conversation. I wish the conversation could be more fluid. Like, I mean, I like the insight on the character's thoughts, but maybe have that in there at a different time or keep it more succinct when you're in the middle of a conversation. Then, toward the end, I was getting a little tired of how bashful Cinderella and the prince are. I mean, like, I don't know, thinking of the 7 doors, bashful is my favorite door. But sometimes it's just like, okay, come on, like, whatever. And I mean, I can be bashful too, but this is just, you're only seeing snippets of time here. Like, you're not seeing their entire days. So when they're together, you're just seeing how bashful they are. And it's just like, really, this is like the first few times, oh, cute. And then it went on and on. And you're like, okay, this is like, we get it. It's a little like boring and bleh. But anyway, there was also one small error made regarding the timeline, but that was so minor and it didn't affect the plot at all. I'm just like a stickler for that kind of thing. Before I get to my rating, I want to note that although it did not bother me, there are a few moments of the king pressuring the prince to have kids. So if that kind of stuff gives you the ick and or makes you super uncomfortable or something, maybe reconsider reading this. Or just go into it expecting that, and then when it happens, it maybe won't bother you as much. I don't know. Overall, I give this book a 4.75 out of 5. It didn't give me that 5-star feeling, but I also don't think that was Elizabeth Lim's intention. It's just not the kind of book for that, I feel. And obviously there were like those few little things that I just like took off that 1/4 point for, but the overall feeling, and my experience reading the book, I just really enjoyed it. I really did. And I definitely recommend this as a beach or vacation read or something to read between more intense books. I read a lot of it when I was up in the mountains in Tennessee this past weekend, and I thought it was perfect for that. Just like sitting on the hammock or sitting inside in the morning with the birds waking up. It was great. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this book review. I think I'm gonna start the Queen's Court series next, like Rebel Rose, and give that a short review at the end of this season. So once we're done with the Peter and the Starcatchers deep dive. So yeah, I will see you guys next week. If you are staying up to date with the Peter and the Starcatchers deep dive, next week is chapters 34 through 46. And yeah, thanks for joining me today. See you real soon.
Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe, and follow. Also, please chat with me and other members of this club in the comments of the YouTube video. My other social media information and a link to the Long Distance Sisters podcast I am also part of will be below. Back in a whack.